All right, guys, so we're here in the lab. We're talking about the Stack Wedge, which if you've done a Stack app update recently, you would notice at the very bottom, there's this new little tab for Wedge, which again, I think is awesome because when we're talking about what actually gets you better at golf, hitting your driver, getting some distance out there, getting a wedge that can go on the green, and then rolling the ball really well, that is going to be something that's going to help you with your game. And Stack now has all three of those covered within the app. So that's really a cool thing. Now, we're going to go through the wedge portion of it. The thing that we need to do is, I tried this at the PGA show, a very small version of it, and then I've actually just messed around with it a little bit here, but you will need the Stack radar. Now, I picked one of these up at the PGA show because I wanted to try this out, but also I wanted a radar that I could have that's a little more portable, that could go in my golf bag easily. So when I'm out at the range, I can still do a Stack session, or if I'm just traveling around, I can still do a Stack session, and I don't need to set up my launch monitor, which is what I would typically use in the past. So just something to think about. If you want to check this out, I will link it down below with the discount, and also to the Stack as well if you don't have that. But when we go into the wedge, here's what's going to happen. First, again, we need the radar, so to pair it, we're just going to turn it on. It's Bluetooth, so we just go ahead, we're going to turn it on, and you hear it beep. We will be good once we get going. So I'm going to go to wedge. You can see I already have my baseline data in here for the first time, but I didn't actually have my clubs when I did it. I was just messing around because I was curious to see if this would work in kind of just a net setting, which it did. It worked really well. So we've got this, and I'm gonna do a update. I'm gonna basically do my baseline data again. This will be the first thing that you do as you go through. Now, once you do that, you're gonna actually get some challenges that you go. So you can see in my next step, I have actually some challenges that I can do, which is in the Premier setting. There's also some creative where you can make some combines and stuff and go through all that, but that's gonna come after you go through and do the baseline as you go through, okay? So baseline, what's gonna happen? For me, it's gonna say, hey, update. You can see everything that you're gonna need. You're gonna hit about 40 golf balls or so. It does depend on what clubs you're hitting, by the way. So I'll talk about that in a sec. They want a max desired of 140 yards. Now, that's in the air for the carry. Now, what happens with this is you end up hitting as many clubs as you need to get to this yardage. So it's actually kind of cool. If you want to make a shorter one, you can go down to 80, but if I put it at 140, which is what they recommend, I'm going to hit shots. I hit 5 with a club, and then it's going to take me, through until I reach basically 140 yards of carry. That's what it's going to happen here. Okay, so if I hit next, I've got the radar. It's on. You can see here it will connect. You can see that's all it did. I didn't have to do anything. So there it is. And then it's going to have me start. So it's asking me for the shortest club, which I do have a lob wedge. So we're going to set this up. All we do is throw this guy behind. One thing I've noticed with the radar is you do want to have it far enough back. If you have it too close, it can't really see the ball taking off. So you got to make sure it's far enough back. You mess with that and figure out how far back you need it. But next, let's go ahead, and you can see I'm ready to hit. We're going to hit 5 shots. So I'm going to work my way through this combine. Let's see what we get with it, all right? Lob wedge first. One thing I'll note too, I wanted to do this again because I do want to use actually the golf ball I play. I think that's important as we go through this stuff. So I wanted to make sure I got here and did it with it. Okay. 88. Beautiful. So here's an interesting scenario that comes up right off the gate. First 2 shots, I can actually throw that shot out if I want, or you can keep it. Now, the thing that you have to decide is that a shot that is something that could happen, right? Now, if I hit something weird, like if I hit a shank, which I rarely ever do, or if I blade one, which I rarely ever do, then I would throw that out. But hitting that one, I hit a little off the toe. It didn't feel great. It went a lot shorter. So that one kind of is in the bag. So I'm going to leave it, and we'll improve upon it as we go through later. It's a lot better. All right, pretty good other than the one shot we hit bad. So it wants me to review it. We're on to the next club. That's one I'm gonna throw out. That was pretty thin. And then I can go ahead and miss hit. You can throw it out for a misread if you get a really weird read as well. I'm gonna throw that one out. There we go. 50-degree gap for me. Now on a really good day, this should get to 140. I have a feeling this won't today, you know. Just doesn't feel like it will. Yeah, that seems about right. I don't know what it is. Like, I can't really say why, but I just don't feel like I'm going to hit the ball as far today. Watch that one. And there we go. That's 5 with the 9. So let's see. I've reached, should be it. All right, so there is that baseline that we have. Now, what we can do, you can see the data. What I always like with the Stack app is that they just keep showing you your improvement, your trends. So if we are going over here to Premiere, this is going to be some of the drills, again, that they have set up for you. So you can see some of the graphs as you go through, but let's go ahead. Let's just start Wedge and let's see what we got. So you've got a couple of different options. So we'll go limited flight. Obviously, we are inside. And then you can go 28, 24, 48, 72. You can see the shots, and then you can work on those distances. And again, I like that because they're giving you some things that you can work on as you go. So a really cool app. Again, I think if you were to do this, you would actually get better, okay? If you are looking for something for the investment that's actually going to help you get better, this one might be up there. Now, obviously, haven't had a chance to test it with players and then take them to the golf course, but I can tell you this is something that we will be doing a lot. I have players that play a lot and they are trying to shoot lower scores. This is going to be in there. Now, obviously, there are other devices that you can use as well. This just gives me a second option, a second device to use to be able to achieve kind of some of the things that I like to do anyway. That's what I'm excited about. And then again, having this ability, this is a lot easier for me as a coach to say, hey, you should pick up these devices. You should pick up the Stack Radar, look at getting the Wedge. I would still recommend the Stack system, but you can take this and get better at your golf game if you don't have the money to afford a high-end launch monitor that's, you know, a couple $1,000s or more. So this is a really good option. And again, just having something to do, something that should be in your golf bag at all times, in my opinion, just having the radar around, then you always have something to do on the range. So I'm gonna be doing this. I'm gonna do this for a little bit. I'm gonna come back and check in a few weeks, and I'll talk to you more about what I'm seeing from the scores and stuff like that. But wanted to introduce it, wanted to see what it was about because I saw it at the show and been kind of waiting for it to come around. That's the whole reason I bought the radar, was to get this and check this part of it out. So yeah, really cool stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it down below. And is it something you want to check out? If you do want to check it out, make sure you check out the link in the description. And if you are struggling, let's say you start doing it, you're struggling with your wedges, well, you're in luck. Have the video for you. Check this one out where we talk about the best way to hit your wedges, getting that setup adjustment that will make a huge difference. So thanks everybody for watching. We will see you in the next one. Peace.